What's up, guys? I'm Tara with Tara Simon Studios. I kind of felt robbed, to be honest. Growing up, I was told, like, you're gonna be this singer and that's what you're gonna be, and that's exactly what I was. And then when I grew up and I started learning on my own about the music industry, I realized all of the different career opportunities that there were within that industry that really didn't have anything to do with singing, or it was just left of center of singing. Like, for instance, I think I would have loved music supervision, but I didn't know careers like that existed in the music industry. I actually had no clue. So today, I'm breaking down all of the different types of unknown careers that you may want to pursue in the music industry that you may not know exist. So let's just start with the first two I've mentioned. Music supervision is a super cool career. You're dealing with music all day long. Your job is to find and license songs that set the mood and convey the proper tone and emotion for the films, commercials, video games, TV shows, and mixed media that are your clients. Now, there's all sorts of pay ranges for this position, but an average range for placing a song in an episode is $3,000 to $5,000. It's not bad. Now, being an entertainment attorney can vary in so many different ways. It depends on the type of specific law you study. However, if you are an entertainment attorney focusing on vocalists, you may have some really high profile, really fun to work with clients. Or maybe not so fun to work with. We'll have to ask an actual entertainment attorney. But obviously, you have to go through law school. Your salary is going to be guaranteed to be very good. And you're still immersed in music. It's just left of center. Now, if you're someone who loves music but also loves to write, being a music journalist or a music historian might be for you. A music journalist writes music criticism and music news for print, online, and broadcast media. Average salary is around $40,000, so not that much, but it can get all the way up to almost six figures. The salary for a music historian is very similar. It averages about $52,000 and nears the six figures. And if you are a music historian, you are researching the musical context of instrumentalists, musical genres, artists, their bodies of work, etc. If you love music and you're on the more techie side of things, you can consider a career in audio engineering. And there are many different facets to being an engineer. An audio engineer, for example, is that person pressing the buttons inside of the actual session when the artist is delivering their performance in the microphone. They may be also either assisting or being solely responsible for creating the instrumental or the backing track to what the artist is performing to. Now, after that's been created, the audio engineer usually passes it off to a mixing engineer. Now, a mixing engineer is a little bit more intricate because their job is to mix the various sound elements to the track to balance the overall quality and volume of the piece. Then once that's done, you pass it on over to the mastering engineer. Now, the mastering engineer is where the buck completely stops. The mastering engineer's job is to ensure that the sound quality of the recorded music is consistent and well mixed, and this creates the final approved mix for the single or the album before they're sent to be replicated and released for the public. Now, depending on your clout as an engineer of any of these kinds, your salary could range from the 20,000s all the way up to the millions. It just depends on your reputation. Much like if you were a vocalist, Adele is going to get paid a lot more money for a concert than, say, that singer singing at your local bar down the street. Now, here's something you probably didn't know. Huge artists that you know of, like Neo, Lady Gaga, Pharrell, and many more, they got their start as songwriters for other artists. They started out co-writing either at publishing companies or at labels where these bigger artists were signed, and they would write songs that got pitched to these artists, and then they would create income for themselves based on the royalties they received from their share of the song. Now, they were great artists in their own right, but their voices were not on that track, and if you don't do your research, you never would have known that they were even a part of the music creation. But they were getting a check. So being a vocalist and an instrumentalist and someone who has a bent towards writing music gives you a fantastic edge, because if you can write really great songs and get them pitched, you can get what the industry calls mailbox money. You sit at home, you collect that check, and you don't have to deal with the fame and the paparazzi and all of that nonsense that all the stars complain about and have to buy humongous mansions just to get a little space of privacy that no one can intrude upon. While we're on the subject of writing, jingle writing used to be a really big thing back in the day, and it is starting to come back some. So these are shorter snippets where companies of any kind would hire writers to create an original jingle for that company that they could use when advertising. One that comes to my mind right now is Jello. It can be that quick, that simple. Bring on the mailbox money. Now here's one that I think most people watching this have never heard of. An ethnomusicologist. Say that 3 times fast. You love to learn and love the scholarly lifestyle, and you also love music. Being an ethnomusicologist may just be for you, because you go into the field and learn about the different musical practices of different groups. You write academic studies and articles and papers that frame different musical traditions and movements through a sociocultural lens. And by the way, they can earn well into the 6 figures. Now, if you absolutely have a love for music and singing, and you also have a love for people and a passion for teaching, obviously being a music educator may be just for you. There are many different mediums in which you can educate for music, right? I mean, I'm doing it right now. You can do it on YouTube, you can do it on a multimedia platform, you can do it in person at a school or a high school or a college or university. You can also open up a private performing arts studio and have a non-accredited specialized school where you choose exactly what you want to teach. If you're a master at what you do, you can even design online courses based on your authority and your methodology to teach others all over the world. I have experience doing 3 of those things. I have digital courses that teach people all over the world how to sing based on my own methodology called Sing Smarter Not Harder. I do have a private performing arts studio in Atlanta, Georgia, where we teach lessons live in person and online all over the world at TaraSimonStudios.com. And I'm here in front of you talking to you on YouTube about the different careers in music. But let me tell you something. The one thing that I don't want you to do is just go down a path because someone told you something or someone told you that you couldn't do something. I made a promise to myself when I was younger that no matter what, I was going to do something in music. It didn't have to be exactly what I wanted, but it had to involve music. And so if you don't compromise that, if you make yourself that promise and do yourself the service of discovering options within the sphere of what you love, I promise you, you will land on your feet and you will land into something that you love. Now, this video would literally be like an hour long if I included every career possible in the music industry. So if you like this and you want me to do a part 2 of more careers that you could have in the music industry, comment in the box below and let me know and I'll be happy to add to it. And if you're someone who really just loves to sing and you're just like, Tara, I really just need to sing, that's what lights me up inside, then I encourage you to check out the description box below, because you can spend personal one-on-one time with me in my new program called Voice On, which is a 4-week intensive over Zoom where I teach you and a small group of people how to turn their voice on and find their own unique sound. I love you guys. I'm proud of you. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.